Butterscotch Biscuit, did you know that Ethereum was in its second cycle in 2020 and 2021? Ethereum did 60x from its low. Why is this information important? Let's go through. What most people don't know is that most of the gains you saw in 2021 with most of the altcoins were just complete flukes. It was a function of Ethereum, which did 60x from its low. What does that mean? It means the only reason they were able to get their heights was more to do with Ethereum and less to do with the things that you think matters, like technology or like other stuff. This is the truth. You have to be aware of it. Bitcoin and Ethereum are the spear or Lanza. So in this next cycle, what if Ethereum doesn't do a 60x, man? Habib, what if it doesn't do a 60x from $880 to low? What if it doesn't get to $52,000 for Ethereum? If it doesn't get to there, then you have to significantly lower your expectations for what you think these altcoins are going to bring. Who's thinking about this? No one. Who's talking about this? No one. Except your friend here. Like, subscribe, bell button, all. I appreciate every single one of you. That's why I made this. Now, I grabbed this list from another influencer, Mr. Suppo Man. This is just the coins that he found and was talking about. But look at these coins that went up a lot. Metapad, Polygon, Binance, Phantom, Hex, Cardano, Solana, Starlink, Trumpet. It's all the same stuff. But if you really want to know how they did, divide these gains by 60. All right. So Binance, did it do 958x or did it actually do 15x? That's enormous, by the way, right? Look at Phantom. Did Phantom do 200x for him or did it do 3x against Ethereum? That's what you got to think about. How much excess return over the spear do you get, the Lanza? This is the game. Why take that excess risk if you're not going to get the excess return? Now, you see that's huge, friends. So what happens if Ethereum only does a 10x, right? What if it does 6 times worse than these ones? That means, okay, what that means is if you're expecting a 100x in your altcoin, well, you're basing off the expectation that Ethereum is going to do another 60x. You're expecting Ethereum to do another run here from here, the $80 up to 5K. That's what you're expecting. What if it doesn't do another 60x? What if it only does a 10x? This is the chart of Ethereum today. What if $890? What if it only does a 10x up to here? Bang. 8,800. Have you prepared for that? How do you prepare for that? Well, your 100x, yeah, you might have to divide it by like 5 or 6. Let's divide it by 6 just to be conservative. Yeah, that's right. 16x. I know a lot of people are going to be shocked. They're like, there is no way. Well, let me tell you something, man. You have 3 cycles that have happened. You think you're the only smarty pants that can see a 4-year cycle and that crypto's a casino? Everybody comes in and sees this. Everyone. You got to be smarter than the crowd. The crowd learns. The crowd gets more wise. So it's your job here, 1, to be my friend. Number 2, to understand the game. The game is that consensus trade sucks. What's consensus going to be next year? I don't know. What about the year after? I have no idea. What's consensus today? Is there a trade? That's what I want to see. Consensus helps you figure out if something might be expensive or it might be cheap. For example, ChainLink. ChainLink is blue chip, but everybody poops on it. No one wants to touch it. I don't know if it's ever going to go to its great heights again. But I just want to beat Ethereum. That's what your goal should ultimately be. That's why we chart everything against ETH. That's the number 1 thing to beat. Has Chainlink won the Oracle race? Is it very stinky? Should we rename it to Painlink? Right? Is Mr. TT still bearish on it? Yes. Is Felipe still bullish? Yes, he is. Is it still cheap? Yes. Let me show you. This is the log chart, and it's monthly. I know many people are shocked. Monthly? That's such a long time frame. This is what you should be looking at. Your pain doesn't look so bad here, does it? Even though, yeah, it is painful if you go all the way down here, minus 94%. I like it. Change it to a monthly chart. Looks like absolute poop. From here, if it just got back to somewhere in this zone, that's a 5x on your Ethereum. I think that's great. That's 5x on Ethereum, by the way. You know, that's why These numbers might be crazy. If Ethereum goes and does like a 4x on here, you're getting 4 times 5. You're getting a 20x on your ChainLink, which might be like $150. That's how we might get a $150 link. Now, obviously, I am scared of this BlackRock scamming, but the BlackRock scamming, I think, is going to happen in Bitcoin. That's the real threat. All of these are just centralized bug eater coins. They can control these little altcoins. We're just a joke to them still. They don't actually take altcoins seriously. It's Bitcoin that they take seriously. So it is possible that Link, right, comes up here and Link USD is going up, but it's just something to think about. The consensus trade is to be stacked in Bitcoin and Ethereum, but we're fully aware. That's why we watch the ratio chart. ChainLink have a cult. HEX have a cult. HEX and Pulse Chain, all right? Now, I'm going to unveil something for you. The reason why that you think some crypto communities are cults, not you, obviously, I'm talking to everybody else out there. You understand it. Everybody watches my channel. We are all united as friends. So the reason why most people think crypto communities are cults, it's because cryptocurrency is effectively building a digital nation state. We're just putting a country on the internet. That's what we're doing. We didn't have this before. We just had text. We had a forum. People talking to each other through a megaphone. Now we actually can make a country because now you have value being stored and moved around. Look at this example. Countries are cults, friends. Countries are cults. Tell me why you will go defend and die for your piece of land. You didn't choose to be born there. You got no idea, man. You spun the wheel. Your parents spun the wheel. How come you're the sperm that won? Could have been someone else. Think about it. Yet people will choose to die for their land. We are all one. But just think about this. So, do we question it? We don't. We don't. It's ingrained to us. We are brainwashed to think like this. Okay. So this is why I love using the Americans. I love America. Very passionate. Very good country. Obviously, we have everything to thank. All goes to America. All right. Highest GDP in the world. Thank you, because Australia, we're just shoveling dirt. We put it on a truck, goes on a boat, sends out to the rest of the world. Then you guys might send us some rice and grain. That's what we're doing here. But America has all the markets. Americans wear the flag with pride. There is a religious devotion to the flag. They get tattoos of the flag. They go to war and die for the flag. Please tell me how this isn't a cult. Every single country does this. Every single nation, every country, it's the cult, right? But we use the word cult. We reserve the word cult for something else in our mind. We think of cult like, ooh, you're like sinister. You go by yourselves. Yeah, well, to every freaking country out there, every other country is a cult. It's just a community who's passionate. Just have a look at this. What is a cult? A system of religious veneration and devotion directed towards a particular figure or object. How many times I hear the Americans talk about the Constitution? I love the flag. America has a very beautiful constitution. They defend their rights. They do. It's worth defending. But just because it's worth defending doesn't mean it ain't fulfilling all these definitions of what a cult is. So now you can just see this word cult. It's not really what everyone thinks it is, okay? People call other things cult when they don't relate to the people in there. So nationalism, it's a geographic cult. It's like, why are you defending that piece of land, right? It's just because you would geographically, you live there. So you're like, hey, don't come into my tin shed. I'm trying to wrestle crocodiles part-time on this squeaky chair. Cryptocurrency is a digital cult. We're looking for the cults, friends. It's a digital cult. The people who don't want to leave. There's a lot of cities out there. There's a lot of coins. I'm going to show you right now. Look at these pictures. All these coins, all these cities. Where are people going? The strongest ones. Just like how I can tell you, there are a lot of countries on earth. Not everybody is running to all of them. Australia, net immigration. America, net immigration. Compare these to other war-torn countries. Syria, net exits. Somalia, net exits. You can tell. It's obvious when you look at it through a different lens. So that's what we want to find in crypto. We want to find the cults. Give me the cult members. I want to see the cult. Cult, cult, cult. People get offended by this word. This word means you're an asset and you're winning. Cult means no matter how bad things get, people are staying around. Look at this America. Do you think if America dropped 5 places in GDP and became a second world country, do you think all the people would leave? No, they're staying. What about these crypto communities? You want to find the crypto communities that go down 99%? That still stay. While everyone else calls them crazy. I hope it all makes sense now. And it ain't so easy. You see, it's very hard to make a cult. It's very hard. People just throw this label out there. You wish you could make one. Do you know how hard it is, friends? You need the right ingredients. CULTS, okay, offer extremely valuable characteristics for an investment. Wow. You can't get this from typical grifter projects. You can't get it. You need a unified force. Apple is a cult. Apple. Look it up. The cult of Mac. Tech and culture through an Apple lens. The cult of Mac. Look at this. He literally got it shaved into the back of his head. All right. The cult. They're just words, friends. Who the hell cares? Honestly, you get the point now. Okay. Cult just means passionate community. Cult means success. You want to find the cult. Because if you don't have a cult, people don't feel like when they leave that they've left anything. Cult is basically, if there is value V here with a dollar sign, okay, the cult is the X factor. So when someone leaves, they are not only leaving the potential money, they're leaving that X factor. But here's the thing. If the money is minus 99%, you're left with the X factor. The friendships, the relationships, the bonding, the kindness. Everybody is unified in one vision, a sense of belonging. If you don't have this X factor, there's no reason to stay. They just go move on to the next poop coin. But if there is this X factor in a cult, or everybody calls the cult, it's like the cult gene. If you have it in there, people stay. Does this make sense now? When you're looking at charts like Pulse, PLSX, and HEX, just seeing red candles that aren't going anywhere, waiting for the price to moon, waiting for Eric to lose his bet one day. This is why people stay. Yes, they're here. Yes, price go up. We understand it. But you need... Look, Ethereum is not going to do what we all expect and want it to do. I want Ethereum to go to $20,000 too, in like literally in 18 months, so we can all be billionaires, okay? I want that to happen. Not going to happen. We got to get a competitive edge somewhere. So you got to find a cult. You got to find someone who's going to defend it to the end. Unless you can tell me the next technological crypto wave in 2024. That will come. I don't know when yet. I don't know how. I don't even know if it's going to get invented. If it does get invented, we're going to have some allocations to it. That's what I'm going to do. But hey, we don't know what's happening right now. We have to wait patiently. So don't forget, right? When it comes to a cult, if you have a cult, it means people, if you have a cult, people are in character. Everybody is like in a unified vision, right? So if your coin isn't a cult, you don't have that X factor to be a cult, that means people are willing to just break character and quit. Go look at Litecoin. Does Litecoin have a cult? No. They're too neutral. They're like, oh, let's go live in a world. Let's be second best to Bitcoin. No. You're not going to make it if you just constantly see yourself as second best. Because the other person who sees themselves as first best is going to overtake you. And then there's going to be first, and then the person who thinks they're first. They're the ones who are competing, not just Litecoin. So this happens everywhere. Bitcoin's a cult. Obviously, Bitcoin is the biggest cult in crypto, friends. Bitcoin is an enormous cult. Bitcoin is a cult. Fiat is a religion. All these articles made. This was made, by the way, 2019 at the bottom. So there are people who will refuse to accept it in their hearts that things could get better in the future. And unfortunately, we still see a few people, maybe they're going through very harsh financial conditions in their life. And you saw this person, mate, they had a 300,000 HEX stake. They ended it. And I've done the maths here. The penalty was over 1 million HEX. They received about $710. But if EHEX just got back to 25 cents, halfway the top, it would be $600,000. So effectively, they've taken $710 today. They've foregone $600,000 in the future. So when you can't observe all this information that I'm throwing at you, it's very easy to just say, you know what? I don't like what's going on. I'm done. It's completely understandable, but that's why we do our research, man. That's why I'm here 18 hours a day giving you high-value content. All of this juicy for free. Press the bell button. Like, subscribe. You know, you can see it as well. You go on Twitter engagement. I'm here doing the hard work for you. None of these other filters and influencers, they're not doing anything. They come, they try to stab hexicans and pulsicans. They try to stab ChainLink. They just try to stab them because they're in Bitcoin and Ethereum land. They think Bitcoin's going to give them a 10x, and they think Ethereum's going to give them a 25x. They all think that. Not going to happen. Not anytime soon. So every crypto influencer, all right, when they falsely say HEX is a Ponzi, the Hornets Nest comes out. That's why I have this GIF out here. It's exactly what happens. Like, this is literally someone testing, poking holes in the community, and then people come to attack it. This is what you want to see. You should be using this as a signal. People are just saying, nah, your noise, you're all brainwashed. Look at these people. Well, isn't that funny? Now with crypto, now that there's a quote-unquote cult around, isn't it amazing that there is a way to participate in the growth of a cult? Just imagine we had the opportunity to buy into early cults many, many, many years ago. Just imagine you could buy into religion, man. Imagine you could get long Christianity. Imagine you could get long Judaism. Imagine that. Similar attributes going on here. And you don't even need it to be put everywhere. This is the best part. With other coins, they have to list the coin everywhere in all these centralized exchanges for them to show the world, yes, we exist, yes, we're here. The HEX and Pulse Chain community don't. It's only listed on one exchange, OKEX. OKEX don't care about the SEC, right? They don't care about the USA thinking that they can regulate the whole world. So they're just leaving it on there. Pulse is still listed there. So, and I wouldn't even be surprised if we added more exchanges. Now, of course, the best exchange, the only one that actually matters, is a decentralized exchange, app.pulsex.com. But this is for centralized exchanges just to help with the rails and the onboarding and everybody to see. It hasn't even been listed everywhere to be delisted in this. So it can only get better from now. Isn't that fantastic? It's basically, I'm telling you, from this position, the cult can only grow bigger. We've exhausted everything around here. It's like, people can only go more all in from here. And a great question as well, right? So Sean asks, I understand the gatekeeping, but why did Richard Heart's tokens not get on all the exchanges? When Zen launched, a lot of exchanges listed it. Mr. Sean, you got to know, to get listed on exchanges, you have to pay them. The exchanges know, because exchanges know that Ethereum is still expensive and people have to go through the exchanges as being the first on-ramp, the first rail there. So they have the power. They are the gatekeepers. To get listed, you got to pay them a bribe. You have to pay them $1 or $2 million for Binance, for example. All of them have a listing fee. So, I guess if the community really wanted, I'm sure Richard Heart would have thought, he said, well, if the community really wants these exchange listings, they can either donate to the exchange or the exchange themselves has to buy. So if the exchanges want, they would have to buy off the market and list it themselves, but they haven't. But it's also because when it comes to HEX, the velocity is low, the volume is low. So a lot of them are looking at the volume and they're like, there's not that much money in there. There's no perpetual trading swaps because HEX is meant to be staked. So it's the antithesis of what they want. They want you to buy and trade back and forth and do billions of dollars of volume so you can lose all your money. But the whole idea of HEX is to buy, stake, and hodl. That's why it's not listed anywhere. Well, you never know. If Pulse Chain keeps growing, I won't be surprised if it just takes over and they're forced to list it, considering all the other poop coins out there. And see, friends, even though this is all clear and very obvious, Mr. Exhausted Bear cannot see the logic in this. He goes, WTF, where is the logic in this? You see, this is what happens, friends. When you are a smelly bear and you poop in the woods, and you're trying to find honey, you don't see opportunity. You just see things going down forever. There is a concept of buying low and selling high, okay? Before you can sell high, you got to do the buy low part. We are in what you might call a depression phase. We are in a sadness phase. What are you going to do? It's up to you. And don't forget, even Mr. Eric Wall, who has unfollowed me, I apologize for hurting your feelings, Eric. But you got to admit, you come here to try squash and poop on Hexicans. It was just funny that a dude with a buy Bitcoin sign was the one that made you crack. That's a bit of irony here. So Eric, even though, let's go back to my chart, friends. Eric loses his bet. He has to pay someone $10,000 if Pulse ever, I think in the next 2 years, goes above this price, 10x from day one sack. And here I am to show you. He bought HEX. He bought $500 of HEX. So if it gets down there, so remember, because of the ratio liquidity linking, look at this. He makes 20x on his DCA ad. He's hedged himself. He puts $500 in. If it goes to that 10x price, his $500 has made 20x. He's now got $10,000 to pay that person. He's hedged himself. So I'd like you to know this. And he doesn't make a public post about it. He had to do it in a little reply to like dunk on people. He didn't go out saying, hey, I am now purchasing HEX. I'm now bullish on this to hedge myself in case I am wrong. He didn't say it like that because people in these like intellectual, normal sized brain type of worlds, they don't know how to just put anything out in front for you, okay? Because it's all a facade, it's all a game. So just have a think about this. The same people fighting, the same people who go on Twitter Spaces, spend 60 minutes talking to lawyers, all of them got their willies out, just jerking around, saying, oh, the DOJ, oh, the Department of Justice, yes, Bitcoin Maxi Land. All those people, 60 minutes of that, don't listen to what they say, listen to what they do. What did he do? He went and bought it. That's the most important thing you got to take from this. So, you've learned the thing about CULTS, friends. We're waiting for the prices to adjust. Everybody thinks Bitcoin and Ethereum are great. They're not cults anymore. Nobody calls Bitcoin and Ethereum a cult. I call them a cult because I know what they really are. Everyone doesn't use the word cult because they're nice and gentle. And they say, well, they are now accepted in our hearts. All the stock market furus, all the big influencers, they now say Bitcoin and Ethereum are legit. They have to go up. What they don't know is that is consensus trade. My job, this is with Pulse, PLSX, HEX, and also ChainLink. There's going to be other coins out there. My job is to find things contrarian. Like, subscribe, bell button, all. Tell mom and dad we will remain friends. We will make it. You are a yummy Tim Tam. I'll catch you in the next one.